At the age of 40, Reva Alexander-Hawk is making changes in both her personal and professional worlds. After recently relocating from the West Coast to the East to be closer to family, Reva is retooling her culinary career to expand further into the world of teaching and mentoring cakers coming up through the ranks. Her valuable expertise has been gained in her Merci Beaucoup kitchen and on television sound stages like the Food Network's Cake Wars, where this talented caker's dedication to her skills, blended with her fun personality, have made her respected as well as successful in the world of sweet treats.
After Dusk Till Dawn, I was like, oh, maybe I'll be asked, but I don't know. Because once you're on Food Network, they usually put you into other shows, hopefully. Like, that's the big thing, you're hoping that you get another show. And I was lucky enough to team up with my friend Vicki Kane, and we did Cake Wars, which was a new series based off Cupcake Wars. We were the first season, and we won the Hello Kitty Cupcake Wars.
That's a series of cakes you have to do, right? So what were your series?
The first round, they do basically an ingredient challenge, and they have a list of ingredients that you have to use, so it's based on the flavor. They were all like Japanese-inspired ingredients, so there was sake, lotus root, there were all these weird ones, but we chose soy sauce and ginger.
Soy sauce would make it salty in my mind.
So there's a lot of sweets that benefit from having the salty taste to it. So that one was pretty much a given, and I think we were the only ones that used the soy sauce.
And what was your cake?
We did a sushi roll, so it looked like a sushi roll, and the inside of the cake was an apple spice cake with this pickled ginger and soy cream cheese buttercream. The cake is a winner, which was surprising because we accidentally left off the whiskers of Hello Kitty.
Whiskers are a prominent part of Hello Kitty.
Vicki accidentally left the whiskers off. I was in charge of like the sushi roll, and while she worked on the figure. And we only had 70 minutes, but it's really basically an hour because they'll say it's time for the competition, go, and then you have to do the decision, like how are you going to make this, what are you going to make, so that eats up about 10 minutes of your time, and then you have to bake the cake, make the fillings, make the frosting, put the cake together, and decorate it all within an hour. And that's a real hour.
Was there any point that you thought it wasn't going to happen?
Oh, about the last 10 minutes of it. So 40 minutes into it, I'm just thinking she's not done with the figure yet because she didn't like the way it looked. She did redo the figure a few times, and I think that's why the whiskers didn't make it on. But it was just crazy. And you don't really have enough time to think, I'm going to finish or I'm not going to finish. But when there are like 10 minutes left, you're just, oh my gosh, how are we going to get this done? And it just always comes together.
Did they penalize you for the whiskers? Did they notice it?
Oh yeah, they noticed it right away. I didn't say anything when I noticed it, because they like have you do the cake and you have to like walk away from it.
I see no whiskers and was like,
oh. and then we walk off the set so that they can do the judging.
How did they review your cakes? Like who went first?
There were 3 teams at that point. I mean, there was 4 teams altogether, so 3 teams were being judged at one time. And Vicki has to stand up there and they critique her. And they say everything that's wrong and everything that's right. And the first thing they said was, well, you forgot the whiskers, and those are the most prominent features on Hello Kitty.
And what did she say? Was she shocked?
She was totally shocked. But you know what? The best thing about that is now Vicki and I both have a special hashtag that is hashtag don't forget the whiskers. So that's like kind of our little trademark motto. The second cake was basically you had to have Hello Kitty and all her friends. And Vicki decided that she wanted to make the banana cake because it was one of her favorites.
What did the cake look like?
It was a big tree that we did out of chocolate, and it had Hello Kitty on a swing. Because they said they felt they wanted the cake to have a feeling of movement, and in our minds we heard they want movement on the cake. So we created the swing that actually could swing, and then we built in a turntable into a trunk of a tree, and on that trunk sat a cake that spun around. So it was like her cake in the middle of the forest. She was having a picnic for her friends.
So did you feel pretty confident when you were done that your cake was good?
Yeah. When we were done, but you never want to you don't want to be overconfident because you never know. You never know what the judges, because you're being judged. So what you think is perfect, they mean it. They may not think is perfect, but we had a full piece and everything was on that cake that we wanted to have on that cake.
Do you remember the moment when you won?
Oh my gosh, it was, okay. So the moment we won, I'm standing over here and Vicky's over here. She's standing in front of the judges next to the cake, and behind her is the teleprompter for the host to make sure he's reading everything right. And I saw they bumped up the teleprompter like they were just practicing, and they went up and it said Vicky, and I was like, oh. So for like a good 3 minutes, I knew that we had won, and I'm just standing there going, oh my God, I couldn't say anything, but I knew, and I was like trying to get her to like look at me, but she was just like looking straight ahead. I'm like, but it was great, because it was just like a sense of accomplishment. It was like you run a marathon, and then you won that marathon. It's crazy.
And what was the prize?
We won $10,000, and we got to go to the Hello Kitty Super Cute Friendship Festival.
And was that fun?
Yes, because I love Hello Kitty. It was amazing. So we got to hang out with Hello Kitty and her friends, and we got an awesome swag bag. It was such an amazing time, and it was such an amazing bonding experience for Vicky and I. It's like we have like our own little sisterhood because of that.
Are you glad you did it? You've done the 3 shows.
Yes. Being on television has been beneficial, in maybe not monetarily, but I've created so many new friends and some great relationships out of television that I would highly suggest it to anybody who can get on TV. If another show pops up on Food Network that I can be on, then they ask, then there's a good chance I'll say yes. You never know, and you never know until you're actually in the studio. Because you can be asked to be on something, and you have to go through an interview process every time, and dates change and themes change. So
there's no solid confirmation until you're actually in the studio.